Hi Leo, this is your forecast for the month of May 2017. This is a general reading for Leo Sun, Leo Rising, or Leo Moon. If you have a different rising or moon sign, you might find watching those videos helpful or more informative for you. You can watch your reading in 3 different ways: the full extended monthly, or for just the energy influence, watch the brief. Or if you prefer, watch the weekly for the upcoming week. Weeklies also make it easy for you to review information you may have forgotten in the full reading. Please remember that these are general readings, and so they may not apply to everyone. If you would like a reading that is specific to you, please visit my website at thealchemistastrologer.com, and I invite you to follow me on Facebook, Google+, and Instagram. Please also check out my pay-per-view channel, vimeo.com/on-demand/finding-love for monthly love readings. Now, the underlying energy is this major card, the Hanged Man. And so there could be issues where you want to get something going. Now, let's say you had all those personalities to contend with and issues, obstacles. Then this could be a month where things kind of slow down. You know, there's some confusion. Things have hit a lull. Maybe you don't quite know, and you're just taking some things in to see, you know, where you should go with this thing. So the action is in limbo right now. You're taking your time. You're trying to figure something out. There's some lessons to be learned. This is a testing period for you. Maybe you're doing something that you know nothing about, and so there's a learning curve. You're having to get a new perspective about what you're doing. And maybe you're having to approach things from a new angle. So your willingness to commit, to sacrifice, how flexible, how selfless you can be, how adaptable is important. This is going to be a month of readjustment, and you may have to let go of something because of some unexpected domestic or career changes. There could have been something that you wanted, and now faced with new facts, you're having to surrender your viewpoint, or you're having to let go of your personal will. Some of you are dealing with people who are selfish, and maybe, you know, there's a history of drug use, of buying luxury items. For some of you, you're getting together with people that maybe there's something psychic going on. The first week, you know, there could be some psychic intuition happening for you, or, you know, some exceptional creativity. But for others of you, you know, maybe if you were under the weather and there's been a medical history that you need to address, this could be a month where you're focused on perhaps a hospital patient, or maybe you're focused on your spirituality in some way. But this ultimately is about your perspective and perhaps the need for changing the way you view the world and the way you view yourself, and being more objective and non-judgmental. That's going to move you forward. So you're dealing with some things, and you may have some confusion about those things, but stepping back and again trying to gain greater clarity by looking at things with fresh eyes, this is going to help you make sense of where you are and deal with the past. Make your reevaluation for moving forward with your goals. Something about this month is going to enlighten you in some way and give you some greater clarity about how to move forward. Whatever it is, because things have, there's a lull, you're going to have to be patient. And you're going to have to keep your eye on the prize and make sure that you're using your energies in the best way. You're going to have to be determined and be persevering to focus on your goals. Fortunately, you can be very realistic right now about the decisions that you have to make and the goals that you're trying to achieve. If you stay calm, serene, composed, this month is about maintaining that composure and facing any setbacks without allowing it to break your spirit somehow. You know, you maybe have to wait on something. There could be some delays. And you may have other people that are, again, those insecure, emotionally overwrought personalities that are trying to play the guilt card and making you feel like you should be doing more than you actually should be doing. Some of you are likely to be confused about your roles in situations, and you're making some unnecessary sacrifices that aren't really proving to be of any value. If you're not confident in who you are and what you're doing, you're probably doing something you've always done that hasn't been working, even though you know it's not good for you or your situation. And you may be overwhelmed by your emotion and yet trying to hide that frustration. Although ultimately what's going to happen is your frustration is going to go in the wrong place. You're going to take your resentment out on other people, even when they don't deserve that. So this is a month about getting clear about what your agenda is, because everything that you fail to address is eventually going to show up in another situation. So there's no getting away from it. So you may want to move in a new direction, a better direction, and you can do that as long as you're not falling back on old habits, self-perpetuating attitudes for failure, limiting yourself in some way. This is a month about maintaining your composure and being very objective. You may have issues that connect to pampering yourself, or, you know, how you spend money or time. And there could be a need for you to recognize the value of the inner beauty of self rather than those shiny objects outside of self. This is going to be a month of ambitious developments, and the key is how well you are able to remain objective and rational in spite of whatever situation you may encounter that's confronting you or even just happening around you. And it's likely to center on your partnerships or some contract or agreement, and whether you have enough money or whether how much responsibility you're juggling, changes that are occurring in your immediate environment, weighing your options about what you should do, having to choose between two things. For some of you, this is about business and you know, getting that product or service out, that turnaround time, or, you know, making purchases, and then, you know, the money comes in, and as soon as it comes in, you're spending it on something. So you're weighing your options and looking at what is best for you. Now, there could also be opportunities, assistance coming to you. There's a definite focus on your work and how productive you are. Now, this is also going to be a month about, you know, restoring or redressing some balance. You may find that, you know, something is overriding your emotions. Maybe you're hiding behind your work, or perhaps your focus is on money and that trumps all of your relationships. You'd rather get the money rather than focus on the love. But there's also this tension, this push and pull, because another part of this situation has to do with relaxing and enjoying yourself and taking some time for rest and recuperation. So maybe you want to relax with your family, have fun with your friends, and there could be some shift where something was, you know, rather bleak or cold, and now it's turning into something warm and supportive. So maybe there's some confusion in your partnerships, or you're overwhelmed with emotion, or what your options are. and the history of a relationship is important, or, getting together to improve a property. Whatever it is, a fresh perspective is called for this month. Now, usually this hangman shows up, it has ties to Neptune, and so whatever has happened in the past, it usually has some tie to something where you felt a sense of loss, maybe some betrayal, there was some uncertainty or mystery, some kind of disappointment, or there are issues where compassion is important.